Well, hello there. It seems you have finally woken up. Don't get out of bed yet. You still have a little ways to go before you are completely healed. That's it. Stay in that bed, and you will be perfectly fine soon. Most of your major injuries are completely healed, according to the scanner. However, it still seems like you have a few more minor injuries, such as sprains and a couple of scratches and bruises. But if you stay in that bed, you will feel fine in no time. Well, you were in a very bad car crash about 13 minutes ago. You were hit on by what I believe you call a drunk driver. They unfortunately perished in the accident, but somehow you survived, climbed out of your own wreckage, and started to crawl your way down the street, I guess looking for some help. However, due to the fact that the road you were traveling on was very desolate, I doubt you would have found any assistance before you yourself would have passed on. Good question. I was flying by in my aircraft when I noticed you crawling very slowly down the road. I knew you were not going to survive if you kept going as you were, so I stopped, picked you up and carried you into my craft, put you into this healing bed, and flew off. I feel bad for whoever may stumble upon your trail of blood, totally confused as to why your tracks suddenly stop. That's no matter though. It's none of our concern. You are going to heal completely in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then, once you show me on this map over here where you live, I will drop you off in front of your residence, and then I will be off. How are you feeling? Well, surprisingly good. Tends to be the basic reaction as you humans seem to have whenever picked up and healed by somebody like me. Who am I? Well, I'm sure it's of no surprise that I'm not from here, as I look nothing like you. My name is Aliyrah. I come from what you humans call the planet Venus, and I and my sisters travel and orbit this planet from time to time to watch over and protect you humans from certain dangers. You should not be concerned as to what dangers I'm exactly talking about, but if you must know, some of the more common ones are the natural disasters, such as major earthquakes, tsunamis, hurricanes, big storms, flooding, and sometimes man-made catastrophes, such as terrorist attacks, sudden outbursts of gun violence, what you humans like to call shootouts, and, well, some other more obscure threats, none of which you need to be concerned about. The less you know about them, the better. I promise you that. What do I mean by sisters? Well, one thing that you humans got correctly was naming my planet Venus and your closest neighboring planet, Mars. Venus, like in mythology, is inhabited entirely by females and only females, whereas Mars is inhabited entirely by males and only males. I and my sisters protect and watch over. Docile, you could say, kind, and just overall harmless planets trying to live their lives by making sure that they are protected and safe from what we call local catastrophes and dangers. My brothers, on the other hand, wage war against less friendly species and planets by watching over their systems within the realm of space, making sure that they stay on their planet and out of harm's way. Oh yes, there are very, very many species, different types like me, planets that have many different inhabitants, many different species, many different what you call aliens. I guess by this logic, if one of you were to come to my planet, you would also be called and considered an alien. However, we don't use that type of language or name, as it sounds rude. But that is a topic for another day. My scanners indicate that you are now 85% completely healed. If you want, you may get up and walk around. However, that will slow down your healing process. So, if I were you, I would stay in that bed until you are 100% recovered. I see that look on your face. Do not worry, you are not in danger here. Contrary to what your people like to portray us as in your movies, TV shows, your books, and what you call comics. We, or at least my species, do not partake in experimenting on humans, as well as what you all hilariously assume, probing. We find that very amusing and childish. However, there are some species out there that do like to perform such experiments and cause such pain to your species, to your kind. That is a pain that we and some other species around us know all too well. So we have formed a sort of alliance to protect the more docile and quiet planets, the ones that are just trying to survive, to get by on their own planets and their own existence, from the more aggressive alien species that wish to bring harm, chaos, or pain on others. Now, seeing as we do not have much longer until you are fully healed, and even less time until you can fully tell me where you live so that I may drop you off, You are allowed to ask 2 questions to me about me, my species, others, space, or, well, anything at all. Our kind is, well, to put it as humbly as I can, my people, my species, is more advanced in both technology and knowledge. So you can truly ask me anything, and I will be able to give you a good answer. Oh my, you are quite the inquisitive one. What do my kind think about planet Earth and your species? I'm assuming you mean humans as opposed to the animals, the wildlife, and the plants. To be honest, we are worried, concerned. One neighboring species of mine tried to contact you in what you consider to be the early 2000s. While I'm not completely sure when, I just remember hearing that they hijacked one of your television programs to make a formal announcement warning you about the dangers of your weapons and of greed, of your leaders, and of your current patterns. And if you wanted to go into the next stage of evolution, you would have to get rid of all these things that is stunting your growth. Unfortunately, it seems as if your warning went unheeded. We refuse to allow violence as a means of understanding what we speak of. So we stepped away and have continued to watch you slowly and sadly bring yourselves to your own destruction. My kind, being the protectors, my sisters and I, would like to preserve your lives as long as we can. We cannot alter your plans or get rid of your atmosphere. No matter how poisoning it is, we refuse to meddle in the natural forces of your planet. However, we do choose to interfere when there is unnecessary pain, such as the catastrophes and the human nature of killing. It truly pains me and my species and our neighboring brothers and sisters to see that you humans are so willing to hurt each other over things that ultimately don't matter. From what you would call larger scale catastrophes, such as invasions upon each other's lands, to things as small as being jealous over what somebody has or who their significant other is. Jealousy, greed, anger, and hatred all seem to flow within your veins, and it is very different for us. We do not carry that type of trait in our systems, and so it confuses us a little bit, but it also frustrates us, as we know that having those emotions mean you are in a more, how can I put this kindly, a more primitive form of life. You are very intelligent, mind you. Don't forget that. You are far more intelligent than many species that live in the solar systems. But you still have a long, long way to go until you reach even a level such as mine. are many other species that are far more intelligent than mine, as well as ones that are way less intelligent than yours. So we always fit somewhere in the middle. If you do wish to make a change in your life, in your planet, start small. Encourage and influence others if you can, to be kinder, to restrain your anger, to control that urge to be more animalistic than intelligent, than human. It is very difficult, I know. I've seen many of you struggle with that. Primal urges to be the best, strongest, bravest, smartest, most successful, no matter what the cost. It is still possible to achieve the highest level of intelligence and what you humans call success without having to tap into those primal urges. It looks like you are 100% healed now, according to my scanner. So if you could please sit up, still slowly. There you go. Look at this map right here on the screen I'm holding. Just find where you live, touch it, and we will start to soar, fly, zoom off, whichever you would like to call it, in that direction. So that is where you live. Alright. You will be there very shortly. You may sit back and relax, as it will not be a long journey now. Soon you will be left back home, and if you have a family, you can tell them that, well, anything. You can make up a story. You could tell them the truth. However, I will warn you that nobody will believe you if you tell them that an alien rescued you. It is very sad, but many of your kind still do not believe that we exist. Your second question? Yes. What can you do to change the world? Oh, I wish it were that easy. I've seen many people ask this question amongst themselves and to other life forms that have cloaked themselves into human shape. Unfortunately, due to the fact that most of you did not heed the warnings of my neighboring species when they hacked into your broadcast system and sent that message of warning, there really is not much that you can do. On a global scale at least, not quite yet. If you really want to alter and to change the world, you must start small. Encourage people you know to put aside those primal instincts, to backstab, to be angry all the time, to cause harm, to be selfish, and to look at the world in a more caring light. As my sisters and I do, we look for ways that we can improve other people's living situations, whether that's saving somebody from a wreckage, to helping somebody cross the street when they have anxieties. Find small ways to be kind to others and encourage them to do the same to more. And eventually, if that train of kind, encouraging acts continue, the small will become big. Change will be inevitable. Change is always inevitable. But by doing this, you can control, at least a little bit, as to where the future will lead. Be more kind to animals, to nature, as if you ruin the rest of these forests, the mountains, the life source of your existence. You, your animals, the plants, they will no longer exist and you will die. It is a very grim situation, I know, but you can still try and change things around. You must never give up, no matter how difficult it seems. I know you can do it. I know others are capable of doing it as well. They just need the right push. That is all I have to say on that matter. You will find ways to be helpful and kind, selfless towards others, and that will always be remembered by me, my kind. It looks like we are about to reach your home now. Once we reach the front lawn, I will land, and you must exit quickly. You're very welcome. Don't mention it. I may come and visit you again someday. I cannot promise that it will happen, but I will keep an eye on you, an ear, in case you need more of my assistance. There we are. I wish you much luck in your life, my friend. Be kind and gracious. Be stern when it is needed, but don't cross into that violence that your primal instincts have. The world is so beautiful if you look at it in the right way. Continue to do kind things for others, and soon enough, if you continue on that path, you will start a chain of events that will lead to the change that your world needs. Farewell, friends. We may meet again. Be safe, be kind, and be prosperous in your life.